Although the installation is quite straightforward, some Peugeot models require a specific procedure when replacing the battery, so this video will cover the recommended steps to follow. Let's dive in. The bonnet release lever is located in the passenger footwell area. Then pull the safety latch upwards to release the bonnet. Now, prevention is better than cure, so before disconnecting the battery, follow these steps to avoid any potential issues afterwards. I'll add some context later in the video. The first step is to disconnect the positive terminal using the quick release latch. And while you're watching how to remove the retaining bracket, let's just look at Peugeot's clever quick release terminal design. Normally, if you disconnect the positive first, you run the risk of touching another metal part with the tool that you're using, creating a short circuit. But with this design, you eliminate that risk by using your hand to disconnect it. With this battery location, the negative is also quite difficult to get to first, so it makes sense why they chose to incorporate this method. One could argue that the negative should have been where the positive is, but that creates its own set of problems. I can certainly say from experience that Peugeot battery installations are more complex than other cars. What's your opinion? Leave a comment below. This allows us to now slide the bracket out and move on to this plastic retainer above the battery, which just slides out, but this is where you'll need the T50 star bit to loosen the bolt that attaches it to the bodywork. Unfortunately, this one was already broken. Now we have access to the negative, and then we can remove the old battery. It's worth mentioning that this vehicle doesn't have a stop-start system, but if you do, it's best to fit an AGM battery. Now, when installing the new battery, it was more out of habit to install the retaining bracket first and connect the negative last. It might actually be easier to connect the negative, slide the battery in, and then secure the retaining bracket. And this is because we can fit the positive terminal last. Remember, the retaining bracket goes underneath the harness here and then secure with the 3 bolts and nut. Now, I mentioned earlier in the video to follow a procedure for disconnecting the battery, and this is called the BSI or Built-in Systems Interface Reset. It controls and manages various electrical systems in the car such as central locking, lights, wipers and more. The 3-minute waiting period before disconnecting is to put the BSI into sleep mode, and then following a procedure after reconnecting the battery through the driver's window. So stick around for that. We can now connect the positive and negative terminal. In your case, the negative might be connected already. Then lastly, slide in the plastic retainer and secure with a star bit. After connecting the terminals, follow this procedure before starting the engine. If the car cranks but doesn't start, repeat the process from disconnect to reconnect. We all know batteries are expensive, so to make it last as long as possible, I'd recommend you go and watch this one now.